We will go ahead and get started. I'm appreciative of everybody coming on this rainy day to hear us talk about the Basic Need Fund. I want to go ahead and welcome you. And before I get started, just say that in the spirit of reconciliation, we acknowledge that we live, work, and play on the traditional territories of the Blackfoot Confederacy, being the Siksika, Kainai, and Piikani nations, as well as the Tsuut'ina Nation, the Stoney Nakoda Nation, and the Métis Nation Region 3. And I want to welcome all the people who make their homes here in the Treaty 7 region of Southern Alberta to our presentation today. We are going to be speaking about the Basic Need Funds and the different changes that may have come about during COVID-19. I'm going to welcome Salima and Darlene from Sunrise Community Link. But before I hand it over, I just want to talk a little bit about Momentum and what we're doing right now. Next slide, please, Salima. So Momentum, we are a nonprofit in the city that works with people living on low income. We partner with lots of people in our community to create a thriving local economy, and we really strive to bring financial wellness to Calgarians and those around Alberta. Next slide. Right now, we are holding all of our in-person programming due to what's happening with COVID, but we do have a couple of helplines up and running. So the first one we have is our money management helpline. And with this one, you can call or email and receive some assistance on money management tools, government and community resource navigation, and financial coaching. Next slide, please. We also have our business helpline. With this one, you can get assistance from professional coaches around your business. If you need any recommendations for your business, or if you need any help navigating the resources that are available to you, you can phone or email. And finally, we also have our employment helpline. With this one, you can receive some assistance with resume and cover letter support, interview preparation, one-on-one job coaching, or any other resource navigation around employment that you may need. The phone number and email are there. If you need any assistance and you missed those phone numbers or emails, please feel free to visit momentum.org and you can receive assistance there. Next slide, please. Just a little bit of housekeeping. We're usually about a 20-minute presentation. There will be a question and answer period at the end if you have any questions. Please use the Q&A feature rather than the chat, because you get lost in the chat and we might not get your questions, but if you use Q&A, they're easy to see. I did also want to mention that all participants are muted and we are recording this session. So if you ever want to view it again, you can definitely go to momentum.org and navigate to the YouTube channel. So in saying that, I am going to black out my screen and mute myself and pass it over to Salima and Darlene and say welcome. Thank you so much for coming today and talking to us about the Basic Need Fund.
Hello, everyone. My name is Salima, and thank you so much, Jody, for that awesome introduction. I actually lost a little bit of what you were saying there. I think it just cut out. So I think we're on to me. Yes, Darlene?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, my audio cut out there for a second. Anyway, thank you all so much for being with us today. Thank you so much to Momentum for inviting us to talk about the Basic Needs Fund on your channel today, and for all of the great partnership opportunities between our two organizations. We love working with you guys. Sunrise Community Link Resource Center is situated off 17th Ave Southeast, Calgary, and we're a center that is a part of the community, and it's a place where people can come to get connected to resources, get connected to basic needs, as well as to find new resources in terms of building resiliency in their lives. Uh-oh. Sorry. Hey. So for today, we're here to talk to you about the Basic Needs Fund. So the Basic Needs Fund is funded by United Way, Calgary and area, and they provide the funding for the Basic Needs Fund. It's delivered through 4 organizations in Calgary. Sunrise is one of them. Bow West Community Resource Center is another one. 211, or the Distress Center, is another one, as well as CUPS. in downtown Calgary. So there's a couple of different ways where you can access the Basic Needs Fund. And it provides emergency financial assistance to people when they need it. And so this can be because you're experiencing a financial shock of some kind. So life happens. We all know that life happens. We all also know that, you know, financial shocks come up. Things like you need to move. Sometimes people have costs related to utilities that were unexpected, or in arrears, or potentially you need help right now, being able to access digital services. So maybe you need some help with your cell phone, maybe you need help with a computer. All of these kinds of things are traditionally or are currently available through the Basic Needs Fund. Yeah, so as I just said, there's a little bit of a relaxation going on in the fund, where traditionally the fund was only used to help people with rent and utilities. We are now able to help with other kinds of unforeseen emergencies. So I'll just reiterate, the fund is for one-time emergencies that are related to, again, can be related to moving, to things like rent, utilities, but also right now can be related to COVID and managing COVID. In order to access the Basic Needs Fund from Sunrise Community Link Resource Center, you would need to be living in the area that Sunrise serves. And so we serve all of East Calgary, and we also serve a lot of North Calgary through our partnership with Bow West Community Resource Center. So there's lots of opportunities for us to serve you through the Sunrise and using our channel or our phone number to apply, or our website to apply. However, you can also, if you don't live in East Calgary or in North Calgary, you can also call 211 and they will be able to help you apply for the fund if you're eligible.
Salima, if you don't mind, can we go back to that one? So
Sure.
I have a question. So what do you mean by sustainable finances? So as an eligibility requirement, what exactly does that mean?
Mm-hmm. So the fund is meant to help people with a one-time emergency or unforeseen financial shock or crisis. It is not able to serve people on an ongoing basis. It on an ongoing basis for the long term, then the fund may not be the right fund for you.
So if normally I'm able to do it, but I've lost my job because of COVID, and COVID might keep me out of work for 6 months, would I still qualify, or would I still qualify?
Mm-hmm. So traditionally you would not qualify, but because some of these funds now can be used to help with the COVID pandemic, you would qualify. Mm-hmm. And we might chat with you a little bit about what your plans are in terms of re-entry into the workforce. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the big you through reaching a new level of sustainability or getting through a crisis, but it needs to be it's not black and white. It needs to be a conversation and a relationship. To apply, you can go to sunriselink.org and apply online. This is one of the simplest ways to apply. It allows you to be able to submit your documents online, and we'll be getting to what those documents are in a second. So yeah, it allows you to submit your documents online and proceed through the process a little bit faster than if you were to be waiting to meet with an advocate and then be submitting your paperwork after that. but you're welcome to apply however you are comfortable applying, either over the phone or using the website. So again, as accessing the Basic Needs Fund, as I kind of mentioned, is a relationship. It's a conversation. And so to support that conversation, we do need a snapshot or an understanding of your financial picture and your financial realities. And so in order to do that, we do ask for 3 months of bank statements and recent copies of your pay stubs, or if you have a, an ROI or like a ROE, sorry, or any sort of whatever documentation you might have that is current and reflective of your financial income and expenses leading up to asking for the Basic Needs Fund. Does that sort of make sense, Darlene, do you think?
It does. I have a question. What if I don't have an email address or any any way to scan in those documents? How can I get them to Sunrise?
So if you don't have an email address, then one way we can do it is over the phone with you taking pictures of your documents and sending them, text messaging them to our community advocates.
Is there at any point in time, are we doing in person, or can we drop the documents off? If we're unable to do that, if I have a flip phone and I can't take pictures of those documents and I don't have anybody that I'm currently with or have access to that could do that for me, is there any other way of applying other than online or using technology?
Yeah, you could absolutely submit, leave your documents in our mailbox that's at Sunrise at the door, and we could receive them from Sunrise. Or you could certainly work towards having a full appointment with a community advocate, where the community advocate could do your Basic Needs Fund application, but also potentially support you in other ways.
Okay.
So the one thing that we do need to be very clear about when accessing the Basic Needs Fund is the time frames. We are a nonprofit organization, a charity, and so it's not that easy for us to just hand out money. we can't simply just pay for things. There are paperwork requirements that have to be fulfilled and compliance things that need to happen. So most of the time, 99% of the time, the payment will be made through check. And so often, and this will be a check that will be written to perhaps a landlord, to a vendor, like to a store if necessary, to NMAX, to utility companies, and that can take about a week for us to create the check, sometimes shorter, but at maximum a week for us to create and send out the check. And then of course it would be in the mail for potentially another week, up to another week, or potentially longer at this moment in time. That being said, we'll often at the it is not immediate. Basic Needs Fund appointment would involve you meeting with a community advocate at Sunrise and discussing your application. We would check your eligibility, meaning that we would be checking in to make sure that you are, or to comply with the idea that you are living on a lower income. This program is for people who are living on a lower income. So we would check your eligibility, and we would also be talking to you again about your finances, what has brought you to this situation of having a one-time crisis, and how we can support you in building resiliency so that you can manage these shocks in the future, hopefully. As we all know that financial shocks don't stop. Any questions about what that might look like, Darlene?
No, I think it's okay.
So right now, the majority of this work is being done over the phone.
That's what I was just going to say. Yeah.
So I talked about this a little bit in the timeframes section, but if your application is approved, a check will be produced on the agreed amount. Typically, the checks are made to who we're paying to manage the crisis. So a utility company, a landlord, a plumber, a store where you're buying a computer, the pharmacy where you're getting your prescriptions. So the funds are not being distributed to the individual. They're being distributed to hopefully help you solve this financial crisis. Does that make sense?
It does.
We just wanted to ensure you knew about other financial supports available to you, of course, including Momentum and their wonderful work in supporting people in financial empowerment and feeling good about your money and your budgets. Emergency financial assistance is available through Alberta Works for different under different programs and with different eligibilities. The Distress Center and Bow West Community Resource Center also offer the Basic Needs Fund and also have other opportunities to grow your financial well-being. And at Sunrise, we have other, alongside the Basic Needs Fund, we do have other programs where you can grow your financial there's also financial coaching available, and we offer a program called Taking Charge, which allows folks an opportunity to learn about very different topics, from wellness to yoga to money.
And if I might add to Salima, I just want to comment that Sunrise Savings is taking pre-registrations right now for our next cohort. So if anybody was interested in learning more about the Sunrise Savings, please feel free to go to our website at sunriselink.org. And under programs, you will find the Sunrise Savings, and it will tell you a little bit about what that program looks like. And if you're interested, please fill out the pre-registration on there.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Salima and Darlene. I really, really appreciate you guys coming and giving this information. It is so valuable for people living in your area and really around Calgary. It's great that you shared more than just Sunrise's information, and I'm so appreciative of that. Just before we end for today, I did want to mention that we do have one final how to buy your home free webinar hosted by Kelly and Carrie on July 9th at 5 p.m. It's a wonderful webinar and there's lots of information. If you would like to register, if you haven't already, please visit us at momentum.org. Next slide, please, Salima. And then, of course, we do have our regular money talks. So next week, we have a special guest from Momentum. Fatima is coming in to talk about RESPs. So more than just how to save RESPs, but she's really going to tell us how we can get free money for our kids. We all want free money for our kids to go to school. So Fatima's going to really help us understand how we can access some of that money. So that's next week at 3 p.m. And I just wanted to put a bug in your ear that after next week for the summer, we will only be doing bi-weekly money talks. So it will change to every second Tuesday after next week. Thank you. And then our last slide, of course, is just a reminder for our 3 helplines. If you need any assistance, they are open from Monday to Friday from 9 to 5, or you could visit us at momentum.org if you need any additional assistance. Thank you so much for joining us today and sharing the information about the Basic Need Fund. You're such a valuable partner in the community and you do so much wonderful work for the people that live in our area. Thank you so much, Darlene and Salima. It was good to see you today. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.